You have every right to go nuts.
I'm not going nuts. Do you see me going nuts?
No, but you know what I mean.
Hey. I'm fine.
Really?
Absolutely. I'm fine. Totally fine. I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky, because really, I'm fine. At first, I was like, ah!
You know, desperation is a very nasty cologne. And right now, Stern, you reek of it.
Now in 4K.
So we get this on Naps Arcade today. Let me bring this up. Stern is going to be putting a new home edition of Jurassic Park into select Costco stores. They're calling it their Home Edition Plus, or Home Plus Edition. Doesn't matter. But the reason why the plus is there is because they're including the Insider Connected into these machines. And as of right now, they're not going to be developing kits to put on the home editions that have already been built, according to Jason's article here at least. Stern marketing team, you've reached out to me before, and I'm guessing you're going to have to reach out to me again. Once again, hold my hand, walk me through this, but I would really like to see the analytics behind this decision. And look, I get it. Stern is trying to expand their customer base. They are trying to find these different avenues to reach out to people that they normally can't reach. And it's not their first time to sell games through Costco either. They've sold games, for instance, Iron Man Classic Edition. That was going through Costco back in 2010. So you have that. But in this economy, I don't see the typical Costco shopper walking around and dropping that cash on a device for your home that you honestly do not need. Now, obviously, it's going to draw attention at Costco. You're going to have all kinds of people walk by and see a pinball machine and go, wow, this is something we can put into our home. And they're going to get a little excited. Like, I remember the days back whenever I used to play these or see them at the arcades. And so these people are going to walk up, and then they're going to look down and see that price tag of $4,999, and they're immediately going to go,
Oh, hell no!
Now, if you're asking, why is Stern selling through Costco? It's because there is a lack of demand for this type of game. Distros are no longer accepting home editions because no one wants them that's currently in the pinball hobby, at least. So that means Stern can sell these for a cheaper price to Costco. And the chances are Costco probably signed some sort of contract which gave them the ability to purchase like a surplus of these games. And that surplus is going to feed the machine, also known as Stern's manufacturing line, for the next month or two. And I can only assume that they're doing this Costco venture again because maybe they want this to be like a gateway type of thing, like a gateway drug to get those people to spend the $5,000 now for a home edition and then get really into it, get what we call the pinball bug, and then start looking at buying more in other machines. And the thing is, we already have a gateway drug. We already have the gateway to get people the pinball bug. And they're called arcades. People go in there, spend 10, 20 bucks or whatever, and have some drinks and get to experience these games already. And the chances are the people that get to go to these arcades and pay them a visit, 10 or 20 bucks. And I know a lot of you have heard this while you're at the arcades. You hear certain people go, wow, a pinball machine? They still make these? I know you've heard it. Comment below if you have. I know I've heard it plenty of times. And so the curious people will go, you know what? I'd like to have one of these in my home. So they'll look into it, and then they'll see in the end that these games are priced very high, and that it's an immediate turnoff for a majority of the end users. Now, And if them selling through Costco wasn't a sign of desperation, stick with me, my story gets better. So we also have this that has surfaced. Level up your office with Stern Pinball's Level Up Your Office rental program. Deliver the ultimate gaming experience to your team or customers. Hang on, guys, it doesn't get any better. Make your office culture more fun. Pinball games help people bond, which can increase time in the office, morale, and retention. That's anecdotal. Increase productivity. Studies show that tasks productivity increases 20% when teams play games together. Oh, they are riding the fine line of lying to you on this one. I had to do a little bit of digging and research and all these different types of documentations and test studies and everything. This is a fine line because they use the word play games. So that puts them in the safe spot. If they would have said playing pinball together, then that would have been a blatant lie. And the thing is, when they say plays games, that it's actually leaning more towards like office and work related games, not playing pinball. Enable friendly competition with Stern Insider Connected. Players can, digitally blah, 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 blah. Prices starting as low as $4.99 a month. Turnkey solution includes game, maintenance, setup, and delivery. Corporate at sternpinball.com. So there you go. My wife came in here earlier, and she wanted to know what I was about to do because I was getting ready to record. And so I told her that, hey, Stern Pinball's about to start selling a home edition of Jurassic Park for about $5,000 at Costco. And she didn't really say much. And then I mentioned the rental program. And she's like, I don't know, sounds a little desperate to me. So that already lets me know that, okay, I'm not the only one that looks at this and goes, you're reaching a little bit now. Now, I mentioned this in my last Omnibus video, guys, and if you haven't seen that, then by all means, look back on my history and watch that one if you so wish to. But I go over talking about the pinball market, and right now, all companies, all distros are a little nervous about what they're seeing. It's down across the board. New in boxes are not selling like they used to a couple of years ago. People are basically very hesitant on spending this kind of money on a device for their home that they don't need. Distros are sitting on so much inventory right now. All of that capital in boxes sitting, waiting for a potential buyer to come around. All that money is just tied up and just waiting. Being a distro would suck right now because Stern would call their distros, and they will here in the next couple of days, and be like, hey, how many of these X-Men do you want? Now, and that's when the distro is going to look around their warehouse or their game room floor and see all these new in-box games that are sitting. And they have to tell the Stern Pinball that I can't take any right now, or I'm only going to take a couple. They're going to reduce the amount that they're going to buy because that's probably all they can afford at this current point in time. Now, and if my sources from the past are true, then chances are Stern will use their strong arm effect on these distros. Because if there's anything that Stern knows, they are pinball. They basically own a majority of the pinball market. And they know that their distros make their bread and butter off of their product. It's 70% of their sales, if not more. Stern knows this and uses it against them. So, Stern at any point in time can drop a distro. At any point in time, for any reason. Essentially killing the distro's income. So imagine being a distro, having all this money tied up, getting the phone call from the big guys upstairs. All right, here's X-Men, guys. How many do you want? And chances are, if you don't take as many as they'd like, they're going to get a little upset. I mean, distros are the ones that are hurting right now. Not so much Stern. They've already made their money through their distributors. Stern's already got their money. They're fine. But the distros have to hopefully find an end user to buy what they've already bought. Oh man, the horror stories that I've heard from people in this industry, And that's what bothers me about some of you out there that just want to like get behind, I'll just say, certain companies and praise them and act like they're just so great and that they cherish us people out there that love their product. But if you only knew, man, you would understand why my Cash Stern logo has the devil horns on it. It's going to be a very interesting fourth quarter for pinball, guys. We've got 6, maybe 7 games being announced by the end of the year by multiple different manufacturers. And the pinball pie is only so big. So to watch these manufacturers figure out how they're going to get our attention, but even more, our money, is going to be entertaining, to say the least. I want to say that if Stern's next cornerstone title to be announced this week isn't a big hit, then I think we are going to see a lot more signs of desperation on their end. And what sucks is that even if Jack Danger creates an amazing game, we're still in the economy right now where a lot of people are not willing to drop that kind of cash right now. So what's your thoughts on all of this? Let me know in the comments section down below, and until next time, peace out. So I just realized that this whole time, my arcade has been not really doing any arcade type of stuff. So that sucks. I'll have to work on that. And just to double down more on this whole thing, I'm kind of curious about where things are going to go with Stern's pinball machines being at Costco. If anything, guys, keep tabs on the games there. If they don't sell, that price is going to come down. There's a reason why I bought this thing right here when I did, because the price just kept going down and down because they weren't selling. I got this whole thing for like $200 at Sam's Club, but they weren't selling, so they eventually just had to move that inventory out. So they dropped that price, I'd say, by 50%, and that's when I snagged it up. I just needed the cabinet. Anyways, why the hell is this thing not working?